Run.
Hello again, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Vexed here as usual, and we are back with the Ultimate Racing League's GT7 Super Formula Series Season 2. This is actually the season finale. Very sad indeed, and as you can see, also very sad as we only have a very small grid this evening, only 6 drivers, because some of our guys have gone up to Castle Donington for the British Touring Cars. We're having a little bit of a get-together up there with the Ultimate Racing League. Some of us obviously unable to make it, so the show must go on. Unfortunately for Brian Moncani, he is currently the championship leader. I think he's actually got it sewn up, so that isn't the reason he's not turned up tonight. He actually, unfortunately, his house was hit by lightning, so he is without a rig and without a PlayStation at the moment, so he couldn't actually attend this final round. But he is he's been my right-hand man for this season and the season previously, so I've let him have the reins on the next season, so he will be coming up with a format and everything for the coming Season 3. We will announce that shortly. Without further ado, should we have a look at the grid? So, Vexed, turn out for the books. Actually, well, maybe because not so many people here this week, but he's actually put that AlphaTauri on pole for 3 weeks in a row. Can he turn it into a win, or is he going to Charles Leclerc it again? We'll have to wait and see. So Vexed is lining up on pole again. Nathan Rombouts, he's there in 2nd place. We've got Wayne G in 3rd. Ginger is in 4th. We've got Asbo 5th. And then Gary Smurf in 6th place. So obviously a small grid this evening, but some nice points on offer for the guys. So we will get a rundown through the standings at the end of this round. So shall we get into it? Let's get into it. Less of the talking, more of the racing. 5 lights, go, go, go. And they're off. It looked like Smurf actually not getting as great a getaway as he may have done in the background there. Maybe getting a little bit caught out by the lights by the start. Vex coming off the inside. He's having to cover off the outside as well. Nathan Rombouts, he was trying to get a long way around, wasn't he? But unable to do so that time. It actually looks all big twitch there from Vex. He's managed to hold it. So looking like he's actually starting to extend already against Rombouts in that Mercedes. Obviously this is a balance of power, no tune this season. I think next season we'll possibly be introducing tuning and a success ballast for the top 3, which obviously makes it a little bit more entertaining for the rest of the field, because then them guys will struggle a little bit more with the extra ballast, or will they? So as I say, Vexed is still there in 1st place. He started to stretch his legs a little bit. He's got a couple of car lengths now over Rombouts, who's in 2nd place. Winnie G is there in 3rd place. Winnie G actually opting to go for the medium, so we've got Rombouts and Vexed are both on softs. Rombouts actually closing right up onto Vexed through that hard braking zone there. Looked like he almost run into the back of him, but there was definitely room there still. Winnie G dropping a little way off the back of Rombouts now. Rombouts trying to put Vexed in front under some pressure. Will he be able to pressure him into a mistake? We'll have to wait and see. As I say, Vexed has managed to put it on pole 3 weeks in a row, and 3 weeks in a row it has not turned into it. Well, 2 weeks in a row so far. This is the 3rd week. But the 2 weeks that he put it on pole, he messed up, didn't he? He messed up with strategy, had a couple of moments, and it definitely cost him. Very reminiscent of Charles Leclerc, maybe pushing a little bit too hard. So Ginger now up to 4th place. He's actually got a 0.5 second penalty in that McLaren, so as he serves that penalty, Asbo will surely get through. Obviously a 50-minute race, as always, so the guys probably want to be trying to settle in a little bit, but it does look like the front 2 are actually still pushing quite hard, leaning on their tyres in these early doors of this race, so we'll have to wait and see if them tyres hold out for them. And in fact, Ginger, Asbo and Smurf all running medium, so the front 2 are the only 2 on softs at the moment. I think this medium soft strategy could come into play. But also, with the nature of Catalunya being quite a high tyre wear circuit, it may even become a 2-stop strategy. So Vexed is still firmly in 1st place, no mistakes from him so far. It's looking like he's hungry for that win at the moment. As I say, 2 times he's managed to put it on pole so far. This is the 3rd time he's managed to put it on pole, and twice in the previous 2 rounds making mistakes and losing positions. I think he actually hasn't made a podium this season. Still currently 3rd in the championship. I think actually vexed with the statistic for most pole positions this season. 3 in total. He's actually got a fast... Oh no, Ron Bowles got a ball. Ron Bowles, he's into the barrier. He didn't want to do that, did he? That is going to cost him. He's got damage on that car as well. I think Ginger may get past him too. Wenny G has done already. So Ron Bowles maybe a little bit on the back foot now. He's going to have to go defensive, isn't he, against Ginge? Ginge is in that slipstream now. Will Nathan be able to get his head down and get away from the 2 guys behind him? Looking like he ran it a little bit wide there, but he saved it. He's not got a track limit penalty, so that was all good. He still had 2 tyres on the track. And looking like Ginger actually getting the run on Asbo there out of that last turn. Or was he ahead? Is he stayed ahead still? So Asbo not managing to find his way past Ginger just yet. Having a bit of a little battle, these 2 at the moment though. Who's going to make the tyres last longer? It looks like Ginger actually leaning on the tyres more than Asbo at this point. Asbo car number 25. You see they took some very different lines through there. Ginger favouring the middle of the track, Asbo hugging the apex. Got on board with Smurf. Not too far off the back of the field at the moment. He has got a little bit of work to do, hasn't he, to get onto him, but still top 6 points, so I'm sure he's going to be focusing on just trying to get the car home. Maybe try and close that gap. He may be able to still make up some positions when people start to pit. Obviously only 5 minutes in so far. Vex putting in a fastest lap again, so he did a 1:23.051. He's now done a 1:22.826. And he's just done another one. 1:22.4. So 400ths quicker than his previous time. He is definitely pushing, isn't he, Vexed, at the moment? As I said before, be interesting to see if he manages to make them tyres last. I think he's lent on them a little bit too early. As we look at a tyre graphic already, if we compare his tyres with Nathan Rombout's, not too bad, but Nate's definitely looked after his a lot better than Vex does. Although he is looking very consistent at the moment, so... But I can tell you, in fact, I did lean on the tyres too hard, and I do have a moment later on in the race which cost me the lead of the race. Which is unfortunate, but we'll see that unfold as the race unfolds. But at this point, with the gap that I had over Wadey G, I was quite happy with myself. Just trying to keep the gap consistent. I was monitoring my tyre wear, but maybe not as much as I possibly should have been. And as you probably saw in the previous 2 rounds, that was my undoing. Pushing too hard to try and create a gap. What I was actually trying to do, the thought process here, was try and extend the gap so it was big enough that I could pit and get a free pit stop. But in doing so, obviously, absolutely killed the tyres. Still running all right at the moment, but you can see that front left is starting to fade very quickly. So Wayne G, I think he can see now. He can see that maybe I'm starting to get a little bit of understeer up ahead. It looks like he's starting to use a bit more of that boost now, try and close the gap a little bit. Actually doing a 23.2 on the medium, so no slouch around here, Winnie G. You see he has, I think he has closed that gap somewhat. Definitely looks closer to Vex than he did before. Nathan Rombouts, he's there, still in third place. Bit of a gap now to Asbo. Asbo has actually got past Ginger now. I'm not sure if Ginger has had a moment somewhere. So we're slowly approaching 1/5 of the way into this race. Almost at 10 minutes, 8.5 minutes currently. And there's Asbo. Look at the gap that he's created over Ginge now. He's managed to get past him and he's extended. Actually trying to get onto the back of Rombouts now as well. Oh, he has a bit of a moment there, getting a little bit greedy on the apex. Almost spun the car around, but managed to save it. That was a great save there from Asbo. He has picked up a 0.5 second penalty. That will be for taking too much of that apex, I'm sure. Looking very confident around here though tonight, does Asbo. Maybe on track for his first podium, or he may at least be able to challenge for it. So as you probably saw, this is the new layout of Catalunya without the chicane. Obviously they took it out for the current Formula 1 season. So that is what we're running. We decided to introduce it into this season 2. Obviously we had Catalunya, didn't we, last season, but it was the old layout. So Asbo still trying to reel Rombouts in. Ginge actually not too far behind him now, so I said that he'd extended, but it looks like maybe Ginge has started to reel him in again, but he is suffering from some quite severe tyre wear on that front left. We'll have to go on board with Vex in a minute and see how his tyres are doing, because I think they're going to be looking a little bit shot now. Definitely second hand. Smurf has just come across the start-finish line, up into turn 1. It's going to be hard braking down to 4th gear. It's not a massively hard braking zone, that one. You're not going down to 2nd or 1st, so you can carry quite a bit of speed, to be fair, through the first bit. So where he is, Vexed, up at the front, still putting in 123s at the moment on them very, very second-hand tyres. In fact, it's just his front left, isn't it, that's suffering? The rest of them look all right. Maybe if setups were allowed this season, that may have been something that could have been overcome, but with it how it is at the moment, he's just going to have to make do. I think at this point the gap is up to about 12 seconds. Obviously you can't see the split on the screen. Something that they really need to introduce into the replays. Polyphony, please. Although it has to be said, the lobbies look a lot more stable than they did. We've not seen a lot of that sideways porpoising that I've not mentioned for a long time, because I know how much that Gary loves it. So Wayne G still trying to chase Vex down. He is on a medium, so he should be able to extend longer than Vex. It looks like maybe he's used, oh, in fact it looks like Vex may be saving a little bit more fuel there than Wayne G. Wayne G normally on it with a fuel saving, so maybe feeling like he didn't need to too much around here. So as Wayne G comes through turn 1 and 2 for the 10th time, up into 3. Sweeping right-hander at turn 3, under the bridge into 4. We'll see how far behind Ron Bouts is. So Ron Bouts just coming around turn 3 now. So he is some way behind. Still currently 3rd place. I do fancy he's going to be getting rid of them soft soon though, as is Vexed. Asbo's still looking pretty confident at the moment. He's not had too many moments, has he? Lap time's a little bit erratic, but he's definitely becoming more consistent, isn't he? And in fact, Ginger is the first person into the pits. Asbo with a big slide there, he managed to hold it, caught that rear end. So Smurf up to 5th place now. Obviously managing to get the overcut on Ginge. He saved them tyres a bit more than Ginge. Ginge actually suffering some really bad front left tyre wear, so not sure why that's plaguing him and Vexed. There is Ginger out on fresh hards now. I fancy he may be able to take them to the end of the race. Has he underfueled that car though? Not too sure. So Vexed. Oh, Vex must have had a moment on the last lap. He's done consistent 23s after lap 4, which lap 4 was his current fastest lap. And then lap 10 was a 25, so he's lost 2 seconds somewhere. That front left absolutely dead now. It is about to leave the chat. Can't imagine he'll want to stay out on them tyres for much longer. Obviously the other 3, not too bad, but they ain't going to carry him around, are they? You can see as well the grain in there on that front left. I think, there we go. So he is into the pits there, so Wayne G will become new race leader, and he does. Where will Vex come out? He's got to be out on a fresh set of tyres, isn't he? A fresh set of mediums, but where will he come out? How far down the order is he going to drop? He's going to have to fight his way back through, isn't he? So Ron Bouts managing to come through into 2nd place. Is Asbo going to get through as well? Asbo may be moving up to 3rd. Vex is still fueling up. And he has. Asbo moves up to 3rd place. I think Vex is going to come out just behind him. Vex going for a full tank of fuel. Not wanting to fuel that Super Formula up again. So Asbo in that Ferrari, he is still yet to pit. He's currently up to 3rd place. I did say maybe he'd be on for a podium. Nath currently sat in 2nd place. I do fancy he's going to pit at the end of this lap, isn't he? Surely. Where is Wayne G? So Wayne G is coming up to a back marker now. I think that's Ginger. So Wayne G still got plenty of meat on them tyres. He stayed out for another lap. He's going to be trying to extend that gap now, isn't he? So Nath is there in 2nd place. Will he pit this time around? And in fact, he stayed out. So Nath fancying another lap on them tyres. Vex got rid of him, didn't he, as soon as that front left went. Asbo still there in 3rd place. And Vexed somewhere behind, looking like he's trying to get some heat into the mediums now as he comes down the straight. Looking to try and do a few push laps now, try and get onto the back of the top 3. He's got a little bit of work to do, hasn't he? He's got his work cut out a little bit, but obviously they are still yet to pit. And it actually looks like Vex maybe not feeling too confident at the moment on them mediums. Maybe they're still yet to come into their window. Almost running a little bit wide through that turn into the hard braking zone. You can see a little bit tentative there on the throttle. That first sweeping right-hander is normally flat, isn't it? You saw Vex had a little bit of a lift, but he was flat through the final turn. So yeah, Vex firmly trying to get onto the back of the top three now. We've got Smurf now into the pits. He's getting rid of the mediums. Ginger is going to regain that 5th position, is he? He's some way back at the moment, so maybe Gary doing enough to stay ahead. He may be able to keep that 5th position for a little more time. Maybe Ginger having a few moments on the hards. Oh, as he does there. Well held though. Does look like Ginger also maybe a little bit tentative on the throttle, on the loud pedal. So yeah, Smurf looking like he is going to come out ahead of Ginger, and he does. I think actually just behind Vex now. Oh no, just behind Wayne G. So Wayne G still currently in 1st place. He has got, or at least I thought I saw the McLaren of Gary not too far behind. So when will Wayne G pit? He's got a big enough gap now, I think, to get that free pit. Smurf also managing to get a free pit. Nathan still out on them softs. Very, very heavily worn softs now. The left side almost completely dead. But he's got at least half of that tread left on the right hand side. That's not really going to help him though, is it? I can't imagine. Slowly approaching the halfway mark. 29 minutes left. So Wayne G is now into the pits. I think Ron Bouts probably will follow in. And where's that going to leave Asbo? Will he be able to stay out? Yeah, so Ron Bouts is in now. Asbo, does he fancy another lap on the mediums? Oh, we just had a yellow flag. What is the yellow flag? Can't see any danger on track at the moment, and he has. Asbo favouring track position. He is going to move up to be the new race leader. I think this may be the first time he's led a race this season, so well done Asbo. Absolutely cracking show at the moment. And in fact, Vex moving through now as well. Vex is up to 2nd place again. Free to try and chase Asbo. He does know that Asbo will be heading to the pits shortly, so he's going to have to get rid of them mediums. He's trying to make the most of them though, isn't he? He doesn't want to stay on them softs for too long. Or maybe a lot for the hards, not too sure. So you can see Vex not too far behind him now. Is Vex going to be able to close that gap and go for the move? Can't quite see Asbo up ahead in that other view. There you go, you can see him there. Looking a little bit slow through that last sector. Vex still looking a little bit tentative on the medium, so what can he do? Can he manage to hold on to that 2nd place? Can he retake the race lead? Looks like he's suffering from some. Does look like he is suffering from a lot of understeer, even though they are fairly new mediums. Hopefully there's not something wrong with that car again. He had to retire it, didn't he? And was it last week or the week before? Road Atlanta, wasn't it? Road Atlanta ended up having to retire the car due to technical issues. Asbo still holding on to that first place at the moment. His lap times are going to start suffering though with the wear on them tyres, and it does look like Vext has started to close that gap, so he is going to be at risk of maybe an overtake, or if he doesn't get the overtake, then surely Vext will take up the race lead once Asbo pits. But at the moment, it does look like, with the tyre wear on the mediums, I'm not sure the softs will make 25 minutes, which is what it's looking like Asbo might have to run them for. Vex got rid of them very early, didn't he? I think maybe 11 or 12 laps on the softs. Asbo, he stayed out again, favouring track position. Will Vex get him down the straight? It looks like he's got a run now. We'll go on board and have a look. I think Asbo, yeah, he's going to cover the inside, isn't he? And in fact, moving back over. So Vex, he moves up the inside, getting that move done. Plenty of room given there. Vex now starting to try and pull away from Asbo. You could hear the tyre screeching, trying to find grip through that sweeping right-hander. So Vex back up into the race lead. Asbo in second place now. He has still yet to pit though, so I think he may be pitting this lap, maybe taking on the first set of softs, or will he go to the hards? As I say, I'm not too certain that the hards will make, that the softs will make it to the end, so maybe opting to run the hards for a couple of laps, or alternatively trying to keep it a one stop and just take the hards to the end. Mawson, obviously the winner of the last two races, 2 in a row. What's showing there for Mawson, but he is one of the lads that are in Donington this weekend, or last weekend, so he's obviously not here this evening, but I think he would have been up there, wouldn't he? Definitely challenging for the lead, if not in the lead. So he just seems to have found some pace from somewhere. He looked a bit shaky at the start of the season, but he's definitely found his feet, hasn't he? Asbo actually choosing to stay out for another lap on them worn mediums. I don't know why I nearly said hard. I think I was thinking about how worn they were. You see the marbles at the sides of the track now. Everyone wanted to stay away from them because they do mess you up. So Wayne G is on racing hards. He's not far behind Asbo now, is he? You can see Vex just gone around that turn he's coming up to now, so I don't think you can write Wayne G off just yet. Oh, and there's a yellow flag up ahead. There is a yellow flag up ahead. Who is it? It's not Vex, it's not Asbo, it's not Wayne G, it's not Ron Bouts. It may have been Ginge. Was it? Or was it Smurf? Not too sure. So Smurf down in 6th now. He is on the racing hards. Perhaps looking to take them to the end of the race. Vex still nicely in first place at the moment. He's got a nice gap, nice bit of breathing space. Just has to try and keep consistent, but it's looking like he has lent on them tyres a little bit too much again. Almost halfway down on that front left already. So yeah, I think definitely suffering with tyre wear, tyre degradation in this round. Asbo's tyre, well, front left has left a chat. His other tyres holding on for dear life. And he is definitely making the most of that fuel, isn't he? He's still holding on to second place. He's going to lose that to Wayne G when he pits, but he's done so well so far to hold on to that second place. Not too sure where Ron Bouts is. I don't think he's at any risk of losing that place to Ron Bouts just yet. And yeah, he's some way back at the moment, so Asbo may be able to make it into the pits and come out still ahead of Ron Bouts. Got on board with Ron Bouts and see where he is. See if he manages to get through. Asbo is now in the pits. He's going to take on a fresh set of tyres, put some fuel in that car. Into the penultimate turn for Ron Bouts. And here it is, the final turn. Is he going to take the lead, or is he going to take that position away from Asbo? I think he is. And he does. So Ron Bouts moving up to third place. Asbo furiously trying to get some fuel into that car. All is not lost yet. How long is that pit stop though? Very long, isn't it? Ginger, fifth. So still ahead of Smurf at the moment, but you can see him there, not too far behind now. I thought, was that? No, it wasn't. It was somebody else. So somebody else coming up to the lap Ginger. I thought it was Smurf who was catching up to him, but Smurf is a little way behind now. So Vex still in first place. Start of lap 22. Hopefully he's not going to bin it again. So we can see the blue flags are out and being waved, but Ginger no trouble at the moment. He's not going to be in any, can't think of the word. He's not going to cause Vex any issues trying to get past him. He's not slowing Vex down any, so he can just keep his head down at the moment. He doesn't have to worry about them blue flags. If Vex was right on him, then obviously rightly he should move over, but he's not in any, he's not in the way at the moment, is he? Vex still quite a few car lengths behind. If anything, I think he's going to be wanting to try and pick the slipstream up. Maybe use that to his advantage for a lap or two. But not wanting to stay in that dirty air for too long, because that can unsettle the car. Doing well at the moment though. Still quite a big gap between him and Wayne G. But I do feel like his lap time's going to start suffering soon as their mediums start to die off. We're only 32 minutes in as well, so Vex maybe having to go for a two-stop. That's going to hurt him as well, isn't it? But then maybe some of the other guys actually feeling like they need to go for a two-stop as well, because the tyre wear, as you can see, is quite brutal around here. Vex luckily not picking up a penalty there. He has started closing up to Ginge. We'll have to come back to them too. So Wayne G is on hards, trying to reel Vex in at the moment. He has got a little bit of work to do, but he has got more rubber to do it on as well. Even though he's on the hards, he should be able to extend them to the end of the race. So maybe not having to pit again, or will he favour a quick dash into the pits and slap on some mediums. Ron Bouts, he's there in third place. A little bit of work to do for him to catch up to Wayne G now. We have to hope that Wayne G has a moment, maybe somewhere. Although looking very consistent. In fact, everybody really consistent this evening. We haven't seen too many moments. I think Ron Bouts having a moment earlier on, didn't he, at the start of the race, but Asbo, he got a little bit greedy, didn't he, on one of the apexes. We saw that, and he picked up that 0.5 second penalty. Jim's looking a little bit squirrely at one stage, but seemingly settled down now. Still holding on to that 5th place ahead of Gary. You see the blue flag indicator there again, and that marshal furiously waving it in the background, but you can't see the car there, can you? So Vexed is way ahead of him now. So it's not Vexed that's throwing that blue flag up. It must be Wayne G starting to catch Ginge, and it is. We just saw him in shot there, just crept in. Smurf just coming up to start lap 24. Some way off the back of the field now. 35 minutes in, 15 minutes to go. So we are in the final 15 minutes. And I fancy that maybe Smurf can take them to the end now, them racing hard. I think maybe the superior strategy in this round, going for the mediums to the hards, because them softs just didn't last any time at all, did they? Vex still out in front at the moment, but look at them mediums. Them mediums are looking a little bit shocking now. Vex actually using all of his overtake now, so he has 0 ERS left to help him in his efforts. But looking super strong at the moment. As I say though, same story around Road Atlanta, wasn't it? He looked super strong, led the race for, I think it was a good 20 minutes. And then out of nowhere just started having moments. I think he caught up to manage to get the pass done on Smurf, who was getting lapped, and then just seemed to lose all downforce and came off the track. I think he picked up damage, and then the race just went downhill from there. But doing well at the moment, so you never know. Maybe he can bring this one home, or at least end up on the podium. As I say, sat in 3rd place in the standings at the moment, and I don't think Vex has actually managed to make it onto the podium this season. I could be wrong. Oh no, he's had a moment there through the final turn. He's gone deep. Ginger now into the pits. Ginger's going to be putting on a fresh set of hards, is he? A fresh set of mediums, sorry. Or maybe he'll keep them hards and just put some fuel in, because it looks like he's looking a little bit low on fuel. And Vexed is now into the pits as well, so Winnie G is going to become new race leader again. So Vexed, he is on a two-stop strategy at the moment. Is he going to lose any more positions though? Will he lose that position to Rombouts and Asbo? A fantastic strategy at the moment from Winnie G. I do think he'll take them hards to the end of the race now. Obviously, he's only got another 11 minutes to go. And I do think that's what he's going to do. So Vexed has changed onto hards. Will he come out ahead of Rombouts? He has, only just. Oh no. Oh, I think there was a bit of contact there between Smurf and Rombouts. Not too sure. I think Smurf trying to get out of the way. He knew he was being blue flagged. Oh, and he's got dirty tyres now. He's struggling to get that car going. Come on, Smurf. He's ahead of Ginger at the moment though, so he's managed to get past Ginger. But Winnie G, look at that gap that Winnie G's got there. If you look at the track map on the top right, there is a huge gap now for the guys behind him to cover if they want to take the race lead again. As I say, I don't think Winnie G will be stopping again. I think he's going to take them hard to the end of the race. As I say, looking like a superior strategy at the moment. You can see how much time Vexed has lost, having to pit again. I think that was definitely an error. I know he wanted to put it on pole though, so maybe that was his thinking, to take the 2 points for pole position and fastest lap. Is he going to have enough points though? Is he going to have done enough to stay ahead of Winnie G, who is hot on his heels at the moment in the standings? Because that's going to be a decent points finish there for Winnie G. If he keeps it in first place, I think that's 20 points on the board. So Rombouts doing well at the moment. Is he going to be able to make them mediums last to the end of the race? He's only got 9 minutes to do so. I think they're going to be very dead, aren't they? But maybe he's looked after him a bit better than what Vex did. He ran them softs for a lot longer, didn't he? I think he extended 3 laps longer on his soft stint than what Vex did, so maybe he can make them last to the end. I think Vex is going to be a bit conscious now that he has got Rombouts starting to bear down on him, who is on the faster compound at the moment. Asbo there in 4th place. Asbo a little way off of Rombouts now. He may be able to use that slipstream of Ginger up ahead to be able to get a slingshot and maybe get onto the back of Rombouts. Ginger picking up a penalty again. He must be testing the track limits out. He's on a fresh set of softs though, so may be able to close that gap to Asbo. Lap 28, he actually put in a 22.9. Go on, Ginge. What a lap there from Ginge. Only, was it 500ths off of Vex's fastest lap? That is a decent lap, Ginge. You've got to give yourself a pat on the back for that, mate. A little bit inconsistent with the lap times, but that was a flyer. Absolutely, yeah. Very good. Smurf still on them hards. He's dropped some way off the back now as well, hasn't he? I'm not sure if... Oh, he had that moment, didn't he? So maybe unable to get the car going quick enough, and Ginge managing to find his way past him. Still, P6 points for Smurf. Unless somebody up ahead has a moment, obviously. But I think he'd be happy with that. It's definitely points to add to his tally. Wayne G still leading the race. I think. Oh, and Rombaus has managed to get past Vext as well. Rombaus is up to second place. Vext now in third. What happened to Vext? He must have had a moment. Oh, he's now got Jin starting to try and unlap himself as well, it looks like. So, yeah, Wayne G looking like he's going to take him hard to the end now. He doesn't need to pit anyway, does he? I think he would actually have a 3 pit stop if he did. I think that's how big the gap is now. So definitely making the strategy work in his favour. Fair play. He was looking strong, wasn't he, at the start of the season? He had a couple of rounds out and then come back stronger than ever. I think if he was in for the full season, I think Vex would be losing out on that third place. I think with Vex's current fastest lap and pole position, I think he may have just done enough to stay ahead of Wayne G, but we will find out when we have a look through the standings. So Rombouts now firmly in second place. So Vex must have definitely had a moment. If you look at that gap is huge. It is big now. I think Vex is he's going to struggle to reel Rombouts in, unless Nathan has a moment on them very one softs, very one mediums that he's on now. It could happen. We saw it earlier in the race, didn't we? In the early stages. Only 4.5 minutes left. So Vex still with Ginger all over his rear bumper. He's all up in his gearbox. Oh, when he goes really deep for that last turn, I think that's where Ginger's picking up them penalties. Is it going to slap him with another one? And it does. So that is it. He's running too wide through that fast right-hander and drifting too far over to the left, and that's what's giving him that 0.5 second penalty. Asbo currently in 4th place. He's on very, very heavily worn softs. I think he's going to struggle now to get onto the back of Vext unless Vext has another moment. And there's Ginge. Ginge with that penalty. He will be serving that this lap. Managing to stay ahead of Smurf still though. And there is Smurf. Just coming down to turn 1 now. Start lap 32. So looking like it's going to be about a 34, 35 lap race. Wayne G, look at him go. Look at that gap. He's almost halfway ahead of the rest of the field now. Actually putting in a 124.8 on them hards, so hards obviously not as slow as everybody thinks they are. Still 2 seconds off of the soft time, but you would expect that. Rombouts still in 2nd place. Oh damn, so Asbo managed to get past Vex now. What happened to Vex? He must have had another moment. I did say it, didn't I? I called it. He's well and truly Leclerc'd it again. Managing to put it on pole 3 weeks in a row. And it hasn't turned into a podium 3 weeks in a row. That is a shame. That's definitely a shame there from Vext. As I say, I think he's done just enough with his pole position and fastest lap to stay ahead of Wayne G. Unless Wayne G manages to steal that fastest lap away, but I don't think he's going to get it done on the hards. So Wayne G actually coming up to start lap 35. Will the other guys manage to get through? I'm not too sure. Wayne G maybe on a victory lap on his own. So Nathan, he kept his head down, didn't he? Kept his nose clean. He had that moment at the start, but driven pretty consistently after that, and it's paid off for him. He's up there in second place. Unable to challenge for the lead of the race, but I think he'll be happy with second. And what a turnout for the books this is. We can just see him there coming around the final turn. Asbo. Well done, Asbo. Looking like he's on track for his first podium of the Super Formula season on very heavily worn softs. So actually making the one-stop work. Extending the mediums for as long as he possibly could. And using as much of that fuel as he could as well. We saw that, didn't we? He was flashing with the fuel. And then Vexed, he tried, didn't he? He tried as much as he could. Oh, we just missed it. So Wayne G takes the checkered flag. That was an absolutely cracking race there from Wayne G. Cracking strategy. He managed to bring home the bacon. Smurf is going to finish in 6th place. We've got on board with Ron Bout, see him cross the finish line. Sorry about that, Wayne G. I thought I had time to get back to you before the checkered flag. So there we go, Nathan Rombouts. He's going to take 2nd position, and there we go, he is happy with that. A little bit of a weave from the car there. Definitely driver of the day here, Asbo, taking his first podium of the season. Vex there in 4th place, Ginger 5th, and Smurf in 6th. Well, that was the finale of Season 2 of the GT7 Ultimate Racing League Super Formula Series. And we will have a run down through the standings. As I said, I am just trying to pull it up now. So the final results. Brian Moncani, he did sew it up in the end. Unfortunately, unable to make the final round, as I said at the start. But he finished it on 124 points. Mawson, 2nd place, not too far behind with 96 points. Vex finishing 3rd with 88. So just enough. He did just enough with that pole position and fastest lap to stay ahead of Wayne G, who is in 4th place with 87 points. Excalibur, that is Nathan Rombouts. He's in 5th place with 77 points. Graham Ali, he's in 6th with 66 points. Ginger is 7th with 66 points. Asbo 8th with 60 points. Smurf was 9th with 59. Palmer 10th with 51. Ice Chand 11th with 46. Chuck was 12th with 39. Toten was 13th with 34 points. Dizzy Rip 14th with 28 points. And Coca bringing up the rear with 22 points. And the most pole positions went to Vexed 3 times with race 6, 7 and 8. And the most fastest laps went to Brian 5 times in round 2, round 4, round 5, round 6 and round 7. Well, that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the series. Obviously, we will be back with Season 3 after a short break. I think there's going to be another Friday night series for maybe another 8 weeks. But I'm not sure if anyone's got anything lined up yet, so maybe we'll be back sooner than that. Obviously, I think we're probably going to try and wait for Brian to be able to rejoin us again once he gets a rig and a PlayStation sorted out again. But yeah, I've been your boy Vexed. This has been the Ultimate Racing League Super Formula Season 2 on GT7, and I will be back shortly. So I'll see you then. Good night.